Yo, what's up? This is Sideline Stories. I'm Ryan Eddy,
I'm Jackson Snow.
and this is the Gen Z take on the LeBron and MJ GOAT debate. So, where do we start?
Do you want to start with accolades?
Yeah, so I have LeBron GOAT resume here. All-time leader in points. By the way, it took him 1,300 fewer shots to pass Jordan. LeBron has 11,000 assists. Jordan has 5,600. LeBron has over 11,000 rebounds. Jordan, 6,600. LeBron's field goal percentage is .9 points higher, and his effective field goal percentage is almost 4 points higher. LeBron has over 1,100 blocks to Jordan's almost 900. LeBron has 4 rings, 10 finals appearances, 4 MVPs. And by the way, in my opinion, you could make an argument for 11 MVPs. I know this is ridiculous, but anywhere from 2007 to 2018, he has an MVP argument. 19 consecutive All-Star appearances, 13 All-NBA appearances, 19 All-NBA appearances, 13 were first team, 6 All-Defensive team, 5 of those 6 were first team. Should have been one Defensive Player of the Year, 2012. I'm sure you can agree. That was robbed. I'm sure you can agree.
Okay, first of all.
Wait, hold on. One more. And he's the all-time leader in playoff points, assists, and steals.
Okay, first off, you're talking about MVPs that were robbed. You can literally say that about anybody. I mean, Jordan, he got robbed multiple times. Like, you could say he should have won it any year of his prime.
Okay, and I'm saying LeBron too, though.
That's literally voter fatigue. That's just kind of like what happens. I mean, first of all, Jordan, he played way less years. You're talking about a ton of, like, accolades and stuff, points, all that stuff, with multiple years on Jordan. But Jordan, dude, he had 6 NBA championships. I can name all of them. You could say no comp. You could say no comp all you want to.
All right, and we'll get into that. But first, I wanted to talk about, you said he played way less years. Longevity is part of the argument. Longevity is part of his resume. That makes him, is one of the reasons why he is so great. It's because longevity. It's because he's doing it at almost 40 years old today.
But you could also say in Jordan's, he took a retirement and came back and won a three-peat. You can't say that about anybody else.
And that's why he's the second greatest of all time.
Second greatest.
Okay, but I would like to preface this. I know, like, we should have done this in the beginning, but I would like to preface this with saying, if you don't have Jordan, LeBron in your top 2 and Kareem's at number 3, then you're just objectively wrong.
Yeah,
I don't even want to talk to you.
You're just wrong.
I don't even. Yeah, I just can't even have a. You know, I had a club head coach here at High Point University tell me Duncan Robinson. Sorry. Tim Duncan was greater all time than LeBron. He listed like 10 other dudes as well, but Tim Duncan was greater than LeBron. But we won't get into the old head fallacies. But
can I go over some accolades that Jordan has? First of all, he has 10 All-NBA first teams. And you want to talk about playing...
LeBron has 13.
On how many more years? Yeah, buddy. He's played way more...
Longevity is a part of it.
But Jordan, bro, he was so dominant. He was by far the best player. You could say that about LeBron, too. I mean, that's kind of a dumb argument. But, dude... You want to talk about playing both sides of the ball? This dude, Jordan, had 9 All-NBA first-team defenses. That's something LeBron can't say at all. He has DPOYs. He has 10-time All-NBA first team, 14-time All-Star, 5-time MVP. You could have said he could have got, 8? I mean, you could say that about LeBron, too. And you could say LeBron should have got, a DPOY because of the whole Marc Gasol thing. But
Right.
Dude, Jordan was just dominant on both sides of the ball. He made people fear him, dog.
Okay, well, let's not act like LeBron didn't have people fearing him, too.
LeBron, bro, nah. After that finals versus Dirk, dude, they knew that he did not have that
Stop.
it factor.
There's so much evidence of people fearing LeBron.
No,
much. People ran away from him. They ran away from the East from him, and then he went to the West, and everyone went to the East. They're moving to different sides of the country to avoid this man.
Okay, that's just not valid. Dude, Jordan, bro, you could talk about LeBron and competition all you want to, but that was only when he got to the finals. Jordan,
Come on now.
Oladipo Pacers moving you.
Come on. Okay, but yeah, come before that. He beat the Celtics with the elite Celtics. He beat the Celtics with the Paul Pierce, the Ray Allen, Rondo, all them boys by himself. He beat the Celtics with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were like 5 years old.
okay, they were probably like what 23 years old, and they had Al Horford, they had Kyrie. Like that team was stacked. There's so much examples of that. All right, but you went to the defensive argument, the two sides player of the ball, and I don't have to make an argument for LeBron on how he's a two-way player. He does that for himself. But I would like to talk about Jordan's defensive player of the year and his defensive image. And so I don't know if you're aware, but there was a report not too long ago about how some of the defensive stats around the NBA, especially in the 80s, were altered in favor of the home team, in favor for the home stars for some years. And so pre-Defensive Player of the Year, Jordan received a lot of criticism for being too focused on scoring and not really focused on winning. And so, for example, he at this point, he'd been swept in the first round in the previous 2 years. And so here's the evidence towards that. So Alex Rutger, a former stat keeper, admitted to inflating stats for home players and said it was common during the time. In the 80s and 90s, home players accounted for 800 more blocks and steals than the road team league-wide. Nowadays, there's only about 135 difference of blocks and 13 more steals, so 800 to 135. Jordan averaged 2.1 blocks at home. Jordan averaged 2.1 blocks at home and 1.2 blocks on the road. And per 36 minutes, his combined blocks and steals increased 82% at home. That is the largest disparity in NBA history. So I'm not taking away anything from Jordan being a good defender. Of course he was, but I'm saying that there was definitely some altering in these stats. And the stats that I listed before, with Jordan having, almost 900 blocks, I'd bet $1 million it's 100% lower than that.
I mean, you could say multiple things about, eras, but dude, you can... And offensively, we could also bring up offensive stats, right? Jordan, he was getting... So the Pistons, right? You were talking about, all the Celtics teams, whatever. He played against this Pistons team who was out to kill the man. This dude literally... They made the Jordan rule. Dude, they made up Jordan rules so he couldn't dominate. And so they didn't actually just target him. Dude, like, you could talk about, he got swept all he wants to. What help did he have the first couple of years?
LeBron had no help in 2007, and he carried that team. I'd like to challenge you real quick. Name one player on the 2007 NBA Finals appearing Cavaliers team. Name one player.
Mo Williams.
Mo Williams. So Mo Williams was LeBron's help. And to beat the Spurs, the loaded Spurs, with Tim Duncan and the boys.
Okay, first of all, I mean, we could talk about this all you want to. Dude, and if you want to talk about help, when did Jordan ever have a dud in the finals? When? You can name one.
A dud?
A dud.
Like his opponents being bad?
No, when did he ever sell his team? When did he fall short?
Oh, well, you could say the same thing about LeBron.
No, you can't. Dude, no, you can't.
When did LeBron... LeBron...
Against Dirk, you're telling me that big three should have lost to Dirk's Mavs.
Obviously not, but listen, LeBron gave Iguodala a finals MVP. Listen to how ridiculous this is.
He gave
Iguodala a finals MVP for guarding LeBron while he averaged 35, 12, and 8.
That's
Come on now.
Everybody knows that was a false finals MVP. Everybody knows that Steph Curry should have got that.
He gave him a finals MVP.
That's a terrible
Imagine
argument.
being praised for your defensive performance while the man you are guarding and supposed to be face guarding, take him away. He is their only player. This man averaged 35, 12, and 8, and you get rewarded for that.
Okay, first of all, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. I'm not saying he's a bad player. Second best player of all time. All praise in the world. If this is anybody else in any other sport, it would be an honor to be number 2. Jordan, bro, dude, everybody has all these stories about how great he was. Dude, we can also bring up Team USA. we can also bring that up.
Okay, let's do it.
No. Okay, let's. Oh shoot, this thing just got unplugged.
Yo, I can still hear you though.
Okay, so we can talk about how everybody on that freaking dream team talks about how Jordan was by far the best on that team, literally led that team. And, dude, those practices, this is a stupid argument. It's practice, obviously. But, dude, this dude, Magic, it shows his competitiveness. Magic was going off, right? And Jordan, he fights back, goes crazy, and he shuts Magic up. And, dude, it's just, like, all about his... You can say I'm glazing, okay? But we're in a GOAT debate. So
yeah.
This dude, Jordan, I don't really know. Because, like, he had so many great Hall of Famers on that team, and they see how great he was. They all say he's the GOAT. I mean...
Well, at the time, he was.
I think he still is. Like,
Okay, well, since we're bringing up Team USA, and I wouldn't cement this as part of my argument either, but every single Team USA team LeBron has been on, he's been the best player. Even today, even last year, he's 38, 39 years old when he played in that Olympics, and he was clearly the best over young guys like Ant. And going back to even 2004, you can make it, or 2006, I believe it was, you can make an argument that he was the best player in that Olympics too. The head coach for Team USA was, honestly, let's just be real, he was being a hater. He was playing OGs like Boozer. And that's why they got third place. That's why they lost to Brazil, because the coach was a hater, and LeBron went back the next year in the NBA and put 42 on his head.
Okay, first of all, none of those teams stack up to the Dream Team. Let's be real. The
Redeem Team. You could say the Redeem Team.
But they were led by Kobe.
At that point, LeBron was the best player in the NBA.
But like it was never an argument with Jordan though.
LeBron was the better player at that time, and it wasn't even close. That was the height of his prime. It wasn't close. You could say Kobe was a leader just because he's been around longer, but it was clear LeBron was the best player on that team.
All right. Well, what is the next thing you want to talk about?
All right. So, argument against MJ, and I know I'm about to sound like a hater here, but I just like to preface this by saying I agree. He's a top 2 player all time. So even though I'm sounding like all things against Jordan, I still know he's a great. But anyways, getting into it. His dominance was limited to one era. That's my first argument. He only had success with one team, with an all-time great coach, all-time great players, such as Scottie Pippen, one of the greatest two-way players of all time, who, by the way, led the Bulls to a 55-win year the year after MJ left. They should have went to the finals. They got robbed by the refs against the Knicks. Everyone knows it, but that's an argument for another day. Dennis Rodman, one of the best rebounders, one of the best defensive players in NBA history. Horace Grant, amazing big who was great in rebounding and on defense. Steve Kerr, top 5 shooter in NBA history, argue with the wall. Ron Harper, John Paxson, BJ Armstrong, and many more. But this just goes to the argument of, LeBron has so much help. Look at all this help that he has. Don't act like Jordan hasn't had help too. And these guys that he's playing with longer periods than LeBron was playing with Kyrie or D Wade or Chris Bosh and all of these guys. And if you have something to say, go ahead and say now. Otherwise, I have like another kind of list here of what I want to talk about.
That's not a fun argument at all. It's a fun argument, not a fair argument toward Jordan. Everybody knows you need to have some sort of a team around you to win a championship.
Well, yeah, I agree. 100% agree.
Jordan, he was, before the championships, he was going out there averaging almost 40 every single year almost. Before he got Phil Jackson, before he got all those teammates. This was when the team was schemed fully for him.
Right.
But
right, and so
when he got, all of his teammates and everything. I mean, everybody needs teammates. I mean, you need capable players. That's like Jordan. He kind of, I wouldn't say he built that team, but he kind of recruited Dennis Rodman after he played them on the Pistons, because he saw, dude, he can give them more opportunities to get the ball up, get more opportunities. And if you want to talk about teammates, dude, LeBron. Okay, that 2016 team.
7. Oh, okay. 2016.
Great play from LeBron. He didn't have that much help. He played against a 73-9 Warriors team. Amazing job by him. 2020, he had AD. He had a really good supporting cast on that Lakers team. It's kind of underrated. Rondo had a great year that year. I mean, everybody was playing up to par. I mean, and obviously everybody
Minus Danny Green.
Yeah, Danny Green was kind of doo-doo in that, yeah. But he never had a team like the Heat. And if he did, he would have never lost any of those finals if he was on that team. And you can't tell me otherwise. That's kind of ridiculous. And you could talk about the comp all you want to, but he didn't even play those Warriors. He played a Mavs team where freaking Jason Terry was giving them the work. Jason Terry was giving them work. And that's kind of unacceptable to me.
So going to that Mavs series, I have just a short thing to say. Let's be honest, it was not on LeBron. I love D Wade. D Wade is one of my probably top 2 favorite players of all time. But D Wade played like some hot garbage. He just played like
LeBron didn't play great in that series. He didn't play good.
I don't have the stats on me, but it's not. You can't.
I'll look up
Okay, you can't say LeBron played awful. But while you do that, going to the supporting cast, I started with all the support that he's had, just because it's a common argument saying, oh, LeBron's had all this support, LeBron's had all these all-stars on his team, whatever, blah blah blah. You can't say Jordan hasn't had help either. But going to one thing you said that you need a great team, you need supporting cast to win the finals. And with Jordan, when Jordan had no help, obviously they didn't get far. But when LeBron had no help, they did get far. 2018 Cavs, 2007 Cavs, and you could say that if Jordan was on the Mavs, if Jordan was playing against the Mavs, he would have won. That's an unrealistic hypothetical. You really can't get into that. But when Jordan had no help, I have the numbers here. When Jordan had no help, these are his results. 85-86, swept in the first round. 86-87, swept in the first round. 87-88, lost 4-1 in the Pistons in the second round. The next year, 88-89, lost to the Pistons again in 7. And then when he came back, 94-95, lost to the Magic with a young Shaq and 4-1 in the second round. And so, yes, you could say, okay, Jordan hasn't had help. And I admit that it doesn't really prove much against him. However, when LeBron had the same level of help, he took a 2007 Cavs and a 2018 Cavs team to the promised land.
But you also have to think about the competition that they were playing. Dude, they were playing the Pistons, who ended up winning the championship. What did they do? 3-peat or did they 2-peat? I don't even know. They did something like that. But they won the finals every single time they beat that Bulls team. I mean, you can't tell me I'm wrong. And then LeBron, he's going against Toronto Raptors, a fake 1 seed.
LeBronto.
Yeah, LeBronto. All glory to him. But, dude, and then the second round, he played against the Pacers in that 2018. Like, that's just not the same level of team. And if you want to go back to his averages in the finals in 2011, he averaged 17 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists in 6 games. You're telling me that's your GOAT?
It's not his best performance, but he's had how many finals appearances? 10, and this is the worst you can do. So
I know, but you have to. It's the narrative, dude. It's him with a super team. He left Cleveland, he became a villain, dude. That offseason, went to Miami, and then he choked. You know how bad that looks?
okay, but what happened the year after?
They won.
Okay.
Congrats, you have a super team. You should have won the year before.
Jordan's had the same level, if not greater, help on with his teammates. You want to say Jordan, no team has been better than 72 Bulls. That wasn't all because of Jordan. Jordan's had help too. We can't make this. LeBron's had all this help, and Jordan's had no help.
Okay.
That's just not true.
He didn't have help. I'm not saying he didn't have help. Dude, he had a heck of a coach, but so did LeBron. He had Ty Lue. Ty Lue is an amazing NBA coach, and you can't say he's not. But Phil Jackson, obviously, the scheme with that team, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. But you can't tell me that Jordan wasn't the reason why they were so great.
Oh, he was the best player. Of course, he's the best player on the best team.
Exactly.
But
like you could say, okay, the Bulls were great even after Jordan left. They still had the best coach in the game. They had a top player in Scottie Pippen. They had a great team. They had a great scheme.
Exactly.
My point exactly. But like your point exactly, he had help. I'm not saying he didn't have help.
And listen, when LeBron left the Cavs to go to the Warriors, before that they were a finals contender. The year after he left, what they win, like 20 games or something like that? They went from the 1 seed to the 16 seed. This is just the LeBron effect, the difference LeBron makes on a team. There was relatively no other changes on that team other than LeBron, no LeBron.
But
1 seed, 16 seed.
you can't really say like Jordan, bro. He had like you're only bringing up that one team, dude. If Jordan was off that Bulls team with the Pistons when they got swept or whatever, they would have been a lottery team. They would have been a lottery team. And
Well, you can't really say that because when Jordan left the Bulls, they won 55 games. They should have made the finals.
Dude, that was when they were title contenders. You're talking about LeBron when he was in the dumps.
LeBron, when he was in the dumps, what did LeBron do?
I can say the exact same. Jordan didn't have the same career as LeBron. Jordan stayed on the same team for his whole prime, pretty much, his whole building up years.
Right.
LeBron, if you say, that's like the same thing of saying if he left that Heat team when they were that good, they would have been a really capable team.
They would not have been in the finals. They would not have been
Jordan's
in the
team
finals.
didn't go back to the finals.
Oh, let's be honest, they should have. They got robbed.
But, dude, that's like, you can literally make the same argument about LeBron and the Heat. Like, let's be real. That's a great team with or without LeBron.
Well, I mean, when LeBron does go from one place to another to the next, look what happens to the team.
But
like that's what I'm saying.
I feel like if Jordan had the same career as LeBron, played on multiple teams, I feel like you would have seen the same thing. You can't say that because it's a hypothetical, but like...
Well, it's not hypothetical. When he did leave, look what happened.
But he was on a great team.
Exactly.
But LeBron,
That's the point. Exactly. You can't say Jordan carried. Yes, he was the best player on the best team, but they were 100% capable without him.
But like he made them that team.
He made them an all-time great team.
Right when he come back, they won. They won three-peat with him coming back. They lost without him, but when he came back, they three-peated.
Okay, of course, because he's a great player. He's the second greatest player of all time. But there's a difference of when you leave a team, are they a finals contender or are they a 16 seed? That's a big difference.
But you're bringing up two different like spectrum of teams. Congrats, LeBron brought an amazing,
horrible team.
Not an amazing team, a horrible team to the finals.
And
but
I'm saying
Jordan played against the NBA champions in the first round.
And I'm saying Jordan isn't capable of bringing that horrible caliber team to the NBA finals like LeBron has.
Who did LeBron play in that playoff run?
Off the top of my head, I have no idea. In 2007 and 2018, 2018 it was probably...
No, 2018, I'm not even talking about that because that comp was awful. That comp was not good.
Okay, stop.
Stop?
Stop?
The
Celtics? The Celtics?
Dude, the Celtics, bro, they had young Jaylen Brown. Wasn't good at the time. He was not good.
He probably averaged around 20-something a game?
No. He averaged like
that
13.
Season?
13 maybe.
That season?
Yes, that season. I'm pretty sure he did. He wasn't close to being an all-star that season.
Jason Tatum?
Jason Tatum was like, what, a second-year player?
Al Horford?
Rookie? Al Horford, good player. He was out of his prime.
Kyrie
proved that he couldn't lead a team. Gordon Hayward, he just came back from an awful injury. Or was he even back at that time? I don't even remember. Was he back?
I don't remember either. Who else did they have on that loaded team?
What, Taylor on that loaded team?
Loaded team. Scary Terry?
Terry moves.
Scary Terry? He's a great supporting player.
Bro, LeBron has a capable team who is easily able to win the finals. For sure. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
But, like, he should have went to the finals that year. Jordan played against a three-peat Pistons.
Should have? I don't know about in 2007, 2018. Which one?
2018, he should have went to the finals.
He carried that team with no help. You can't say he should have. Just because you expect great things from LeBron, you can't take it away from him when he actually does those amazing things.
LeBron's a top 2 player. We're taking this out of context.
Right, but in this argument, you have to criticize the subtleties with players because they're so great, and it's really hard to say negative things about either of them. But that's why you have to criticize the minor details.
That's why I've also criticized how he blew it in that finals. Jordan hasn't done that. And on the biggest stage. On the biggest stage.
Right. Here we go. On the biggest stage. This is Jordan on the biggest stage. In my opinion, he's played no comp in any one of the 6 finals.
What?
Yep, and I'm going to go through it here.
Okay.
I'm going to go through it here.
Go through it.
1991, beat the Lakers 4-0.
Magic.
Listen, I'm not done. Beat the Lakers 4-1. Old Magic Johnson, the year before he retired, this was his last game with AIDS.
Dude,
with AIDS. Magic Johnson with AIDS.
He was still good at basketball.
In an injured James Worthy. Magic Johnson with AIDS and injured James Worthy. That is his best comp.
Best comp?
Best comp in the finals. That is his best comp.
Are you
1992. Serious? He beat the Trailblazers.
The Trailblazers, that was his least comp. He had Drexler in the crew. They weren't that bad.
Drexler, Clyde, he had Clyde. The team had no depth. The Bulls heavily outmatched them head to toe on the whole roster. 1993 beat Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley was the MVP. Dude, they had a heck of a team, dog.
Name one more player. He had no depth on that team.
Dan Marley.
Dan Marley is not a secondary star.
He's
comparable.
not the secondary star on that team, I don't think.
They had no depth. They had no one.
Charles Barkley went
besides
for 40 in a game, and Jordan went for more. He outplayed Barkley in an elimination game where he had 40, and he told his team that they weren't going to lose, but Jordan outplayed him.
They weren't going to lose because the team had no depth. The Bulls heavily outmatched them again. 1996, after his retirement and came back, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, the Sonics never.
That's a good team.
Never.
That's a good team.
Listen, and Gary Payton was injured.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He was dealing with injuries.
No, he wasn't.
Dealing with injuries.
That's a lie.
Dealing with injuries. He might have played, but he was dealing with injuries.
That's not true.
He was dealing with injuries.
Sean Kemp was a stud at that time. That was before he took a dip. He was good at basketball. He was a freaking heck of a player. And Gary Payton, oh my gosh, the glove, DPOY level player. Guard Jordan. Go do it. Okay, you can't win a freaking game when you're guarding Jordan because he's still going off against a DPOY caliber player.
Okay, first of all, that team, you can't tell me that 96 team, the 96 Sonics team ever had a snowball chance in hell of matching up with the Bulls. You can't tell me that was good competition for the Bulls. You can't tell me.
The Bulls were a great team. That's why they won the finals.
Okay, and I'm telling you, this is why he's 6-0, because he's never had to face the level of competition in the finals that LeBron has.
Jordan exceeds them. He makes them win. He's that killer.
That is blasphemous. LeBron, he is GOAT. He is great. He's the second greatest player of all time. But none of these teams could match up with the Bulls like the Spurs had with the Cavs in 2007, like the Warriors had for all those years, and like all the other great competition in the finals LeBron's played.
That's not fair though, bro. Like Jordan.
If it's not fair to make this argument, then it's not fair to say LeBron is 4 for 10. It's not fair.
How?
Because
Jordan sells. No, this is the difference. Jordan, he makes that team win. Even when Scottie Pippen had a back injury one year in the finals, had to go out every 10 minutes, and he still killed every single team he went against.
Jordan in 2007 against the Spurs instead of LeBron, do they win?
Yes.
No chance they win.
No chance.
No chance they win. When Jordan had nobody, I already showed you what they did.
They played against so much more comp.
You're telling me that
they win against a three.
You're telling me that the comp that they played wasn't comparable to that Spurs team in 2007 with Tim Duncan?
No, dude, the Pistons were on a three-peat.
Okay, and the Spurs didn't win chips. The Spurs won 5.
They were good.
The Spurs won 5.
You're talking about how Jordan couldn't lead a team by himself. He played against a three-peat team in the first round all 3 years. He was by himself, bro.
Okay.
And then when he finally gets some help, a capable scheme, he beats him.
Oh, capable is the understatement of the year. capable.
I'm talking about compared to the other one. He literally had
It's more than capable. It's all-time great, second greatest team of all time.
Like I was saying, against that Pistons team, their whole game plan was to keep Jordan out of the paint. Every time he went to the paint, they killed him. That's the Jordan rule. Bro, they made rules so Jordan didn't get killed by the Pistons every year.
And we're gonna act like LeBron hasn't had like 4 dudes all boxing into the paint, guarding him at one time. But LeBron's a playmaker, so he dishes it out. But that's irrelevant. All right, moving on. 1997, beat the Jazz 4-2 with Kid Toucher, Karl Malone, and John Stockton. Both players were extremely old and never reached the finals before, and the Jazz also lacked depth. The next year, 1998, again beat the Jazz 4-2 with even older Predator, Kid Toucher, Karl Malone, and even older John Stockton. Minimal support from role players, and they had no chance against this Last Dance team. They had no chance.
Fine.
They had no chance.
If you're going to say, oh, they're so freaking old, they weren't even that old, dog. They were not
compared to
that
LeBron,
old.
compared to nowadays and the standard LeBron has put on, okay, maybe they're not old, but back in the day, the players didn't play for as long as you see
Nobody's
LeBron
played
has.
as long as LeBron.
Okay, but
You can,
back in the day,
you can take that to his GOAT debate. I don't care.
They
can't hold everybody to
They didn't
LeBron
have the
standards.
recovery. They didn't have this and that. Players were not playing well into their late 30s like you see some players are now.
How old were they?
We could look it up.
All right, let's
but
look
I'm
it
not
up.
sure. I'm not going to give you an exact answer and be
let's
wrong.
look it up.
1998. John Stockton and Kid Toucher, Karl Malone.
Kid Toucher, bro.
Yeah. Either of those teams, they had no chance against the Michael Jordan-led Bulls, especially 1998. They had no chance against the Last Dance team. Let's not act like it was a good finals. Let's not act like people were thinking, oh, it could go either way. Jordan has never been an underdog a single year in his finals reign, and LeBron has multiple times. I don't have the exact number, but many times he's been the underdog. And yes, he's lost because, you know what? Sometimes he's just outmatched. He can't do it all. But how old are
I'm trying to figure it out. It's not loading right now. So, well, either way, they were still amazing players. Karl Malone went out there. He was the MVP that year.
He was an old Kid Toucher who had never reached the finals.
I forgot about that. He wasn't in his prime. He won an MVP that year.
He had no support from role players. He's a Kid Toucher, and him and John Stockton were both old, and it was their first finals. You can't tell me...
They went back-to-back. They went against Jordan back-to-back.
They did. And you can't tell me in 1998 they didn't stand a chance.
Karl Malone, bro, he stole an MVP from Jordan, first of all. That proves that Karl Malone was a heck of a player the year that freaking they went to the finals.
Okay, but you can't tell me as a team, that Jazz team was even comparable to the Bulls. You can't tell me.
Then how did they beat everybody in the West back-to-back?
Because they weren't the Bulls. At the time, the Bulls were the greatest team of all time, and they were until 2017.
Because of Jordan.
Because of the second greatest player of all time. Right, I agree.
That's not a fair argument, though. If you're talking about, okay, they're not as good of a team as a team with the second or first best player in both of our freaking...
Yeah, top 2.
That's not freaking fair.
Okay,
to
but
say.
if you want to say...
Nobody is better than LeBron. You could say, okay, 2016, when they freaking won, LeBron was by far the best player on the court. Was he not?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
Okay, so, oh my gosh, wow. They make that Cavs team capable of beating the Warriors with only Steph Curry, Klay Thompson in the crew. Okay, that's a great team, great system. but LeBron is better than both of them, so they have a chance.
I know you've seen that graphic with KD, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green.
KD wasn't on the team when they won.
I know. I'm saying KD, all those boys, and then I know you've seen that graphic with LeBron James. What was it? Kyle Korver.
Kyrie?
No, Kyrie was injured. Or Kyrie was off the team.
In 2016, he was on the team.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he was injured.
He hit a game-winning shot.
And maybe it was 2017 that he was injured. But the graphic I'm talking... No, yeah, I am talking about 2017. But this is just like a side argument, a side joke. With him, Matthew Dellavedova, and Kyle Korver against, on the other side of the graphic, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and Klay Thompson.
And that's why
and
they
Draymond
lost.
Green, too, by the way.
That's why they lost.
Right, that's why they lost. Because the teams, LeBron has been underdogs, severe underdogs in multiple finals, and Jordan's were
talking about the
heavy
best-
favorites. Heavy favorites.
You're talking about the best team of all time.
I am.
And if Jordan's Bulls team win against that Warriors team, do you think they have a chance? I think they do. They're the top two teams of all time. Yes,
this
they
is
are.
unfair, but I personally don't, just because the skill gap has increased so much from the 80s to today.
But
in terms,
physicality also has changed.
okay, but the rules have also changed, so a lot of those would be fouls. But in terms of greatness,
So you're telling me-
hold on. In terms of greatness, I agree. They're extremely comparable and extremely close. But in skill, in my opinion, the skill level has just increased way too much for them to compete with a lot of teams today.
That's not fair to say because, dude, you're telling me.
I agree. It's not fair to say, but that's
me-
why you can't compare. You can't say the Bulls would beat this team
I'm
or
just
that
saying,
team.
do you think
That's
they
why
have a chance? They have a chance, right?
in a game, in a series,
In a
no,
series, I think
absolutely
they do.
no chance.
But you have to
they
think
don't have
about
a chance to win a game.
If they're in the same era, playing at the same time.
That's not fair though. That's
But
just
this is
too
argument,
hypothetical.
this is the argument we're making, right? Because you're saying they don't have a chance, but I'm saying you're telling me the top players of the NBA, they're not going to adapt to rules. They're not going to adapt to the play style. They're not going to adapt to all this.
But this is
stuff.
too much hypothetical. I'm saying in a series they have no chance, but in terms of greatness, yes, they are close in greatness.
Okay, but I'm just saying if we're talking about a series though, I think if they're both playing in the same era, I think they would both adapt. That's what I'm saying.
Possibly.
So,
But
I don't know.
okay, so
But if we're talking about the time that they won in 2016, LeBron had a good team around him. Kyrie Irving, amazing player. He clutched up multiple times, looked like a second superstar, looked like a second All-NBA type of guy. And what did they? They didn't even have KD at the time. They had Steph, they had Draymond, they had a great
and
system.
they won 73 games.
Yeah, and Jordan.
And LeBron came back from 3-1.
And Jordan won 72 games. If nobody's comparing to that Warriors team, how is anybody comparing to that Bulls team?
All I'm saying is it's very close. I have the Warriors slightly ahead though.
Because I'm saying, like, okay, nobody's matching up with that Bulls team. If the Warriors play same amount of competition, you could say the same thing.
But LeBron did though. LeBron did. And LeBron
top-
was on the other side of the spectrum. He was on the underdog team.
And he lost.
He lost in 2017 when they added the.
And 2018.
Okay, let's go through 2018.
But
2018, Cavs, no Kyrie, washed Kevin Love. J.R. Smith played mid.
Kevin Love?
J.R. Smith played mid. Jeff Green, George Hill, and he took that team to the finals.
Playing
That
no
team
comp
to
in
the
the
finals.
East. Playing no comp in the East.
They almost won game one I say almost.
Congrats,
we all know what
almost.
happened because Henny J.R. Smith was a complete idiot. LeBron had like 40 in that game. But after that in that 2018 finals, LeBron broke his left hand. And by the way, he's a lefty. Even though he shoots with his right, he broke his left hand and for the rest of the series and played through it. And obviously we know what happened there. But LeBron put up numerous all-time great performances in that playoff run and is arguably one of the greatest playoff runs ever, despite the finals.
You're talking about when they lose, though. They lost to the best team of all time.
Right.
What I'm saying, Jordan is on the second best team of all time, and you're punishing him for winning.
No, I'm not punishing him for winning. I'm just saying there's a reason he went 6-0. There's a reason. And there's a reason LeBron went 4-6.
Because he made that team so amazing.
He made that team great, but let's not act like they weren't really, really, really good without him.
They weren't nearly the same team.
Okay, they weren't all-time great, but they were really good without him. They were really good.
But the time that LeBron won in 2016, he had a very good team around him.
Let's not act like LeBron didn't face better competition in that finals than Jordan ever has. Ever.
You're talking about one of the best teams. 73
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
9.
And he beat them. You're arguing for me. He beat them. He beat one of
But
the greatest
you're
teams
saying-
of all time.
but-
and then
but-
one of the greatest teams
but-
added the greatest scorer of all time just to beat LeBron.
But you can also say LeBron is miles ahead of everybody else on that team. Steph Curry, congrats, you're good. But he's known as not really living up to that great of a player in the finals. He only has one finals MVP. Tell me I'm wrong. Iguodala won for a reason.
You just said it was a blasphemous.
It was a blasphemous.
You just said it was blasphemous. You just said he should have won about 20 minutes ago.
Can I finish?
All right, go.
Can I finish? Steph, to my point, he didn't play superstar level. LeBron did. Congrats. LeBron by far the best in that series. He had a great player in Kyrie. Played pretty much the same level as Steph Curry, if not better. So you're telling me that Warriors team played the best of their abilities against the Cavs? No.
Okay, but you can't make that. You can't say, oh, they didn't play well. That's how basketball works. They played against LeBron.
Oh my
you're going to say the Warriors, they didn't play well when they played against LeBron, but they played well against every other team in the NBA?
But they weren't the same level of team as those 2018 teams. They weren't miles ahead of LeBron. They were kind of close, actually, if you really think about it. Top teams in both conferences, LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love, great player at the time. He was not out of his prime.
Right.
He was a great player. Dude, they matched up well against that Warriors team. But the times that he lost, he played against an amazing team. The team that he lost to was miles ahead of the team that he beat. And you can't tell me I'm wrong about that.
What you're saying is that LeBron is so great that he outmatched the entire team by himself, and that's the reason why the finals was more comparable than some of the Jordan finals?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, congrats. LeBron is a top 2 player. He's top 2.
Right.
He's in a league of his own besides Jordan. Congrats. He had Kyrie playing as good as Steph Curry, the other team's best player. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Kevin Love played really solid in that finals. Everybody, LeBron's supporting cast, held their own. They played relatively above standards in that finals. You can't say I'm wrong. The Warriors, okay, they had a 73-9 season. Great scheme, great team. But you cannot tell me LeBron was not by far the best player in that series, which made them honest. I wouldn't call them favorites at all. I'm not saying that. But they were for sure capable of winning that series.
Okay, so just to recap, because LeBron was the best player.
You could say that for Jordan too.
Okay.
You can say it for Jordan too.
And I have. But you're telling me your argument on why it's closer than what I'm saying in terms of the matchup, in terms of expectations, is because LeBron was the best player and because LeBron was so much better than everyone else that it made it fair, that it made the teams even?
That's so stupid.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
LeBron James is obviously going to give them a chance to win. You could say the same exact thing for Jordan. Jordan, bro.
It sounds like you're arguing for me right now.
No, that's not how it's. See, you're just not. You know what I'm saying, but you're just trying to take it away from it. I know exactly. I know you know what I'm saying, but you're talking about how Jordan. Okay, you play no comp, dude. You're on the best team known to man in that time. That's not a fair statement. And LeBron, when he was on a team that was so great for him, so amazing, bro, they had a big 3, amazing team. Honestly, at the time, you could say it was better built than that Bulls team. You can say they had Spo, best coach in the league.
Okay, come on
Spo,
now.
Best coach in the league. Okay.
Spo's a great coach, but the
in the league, he's not the best.
Okay, at the time, but the Jordan's Bulls had probably the greatest coach of all time in Phil Jackson.
But you can honestly say there was better talent on that Heat team, and they lost the Mavs. What you got to say?
I have made so many arguments, and you keep bringing up 6 basketball games out of LeBron's thousands and thousands and thousands of basketball games.
What I'm saying is Jordan doesn't sell. 6. Jordan doesn't sell in the finals, and LeBron
you know
did.
Why? And you know why?
Did.
And you know why? And you know why? As I said, beat the Lakers with Magic Johnson with AIDS in his last year, and James Worthy. And this is the comp. Okay. That is his best comp in the finals. That is his best comp in the finals.
Can I talk about Magic? He retired early, not because he was bad at the game, because he had AIDS. Did that affect him on the court?
It could have. How do we know it didn't?
Did it affect him on the court?
And to injure James Worthy. That was his best competition.
But dude, that's so stupid, bro. He played against so much competition, dog.
Not in the finals.
But how did he get there is the real question. He literally ran through these super teams, I would say. They played against freaking the Celtics when Larry Bird was on demon time and he three-peated for MVP.
Okay, we can't act like LeBron hasn't played amazing. LeBron's played a way better competition.
No, bro, no.
Absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
no, that's not true. Dude, you're telling me bubble LeBron, that moves you? He played against Jimmy Butler in the finals.
Oh, Jimmy Butler was a dog. And we're not going to act like in that finals, yes, they were heavy favorites. Yes, they should have won. Okay, that was his probably...
Bam was young. That team was...
Okay, I'm not talking about that team. You have all the argument on this one. That team had no chance against the Lakers. But we're going to act like the run to the finals wasn't the impressive part about that season. The run to the finals was the impressive part.
That's what I've been saying about Jordan the whole time. You're talking about only the finals. Jordan had to beat some amazing teams in the Eastern Conference.
But when I talk
Larry
about...
Bird's Celtics, phenomenal team. Pistons, like I said, three-peat. Oh my gosh, such a great team. When Jordan got capable help, they swept him. They took him. They went from three-peating to getting swept from Jordan.
Here's the difference.
Right?
Here's the difference. Here's the difference. You said when Jordan had capable, as I said, capable is a dramatic understatement. When Jordan had capable help, they went to the promised land. When LeBron had no help, they went to the promised land.
But he lost to the Spurs. Okay,
you can't take that away from him. Listen. I've made this argument so many times before. You can't take away and say it was a bad year if he went to the finals and lost, especially against some of the competition LeBron's faced. It's still impressive that he even got there. It's still an accomplishment to be runner-up. It's still an accomplishment to go to the finals 6 times and lose.
Ryan,
it's still an accomplishment. It's still impressive.
Ryan, are you telling me that he's facing a three-peat team in the first round? Did he do that?
I don't have all the numbers here, but here.
He didn't. I can promise you that.
Okay, but when Jordan had, as I've said, when Jordan's had no help, and as you say, a not a capable team, these are the results. And when LeBron's had the same poor level of help, the results are NBA Finals. And here we go. Here are some of LeBron's playoff successes without a great team. As we talked about, 2007 Cavs carried a young Cavs team to the finals without a single other All-Star or a player that you can name right now. Obviously, you said Mo Williams already, but we're going to act like Mo Williams is all that. And then he faced the Spurs in the finals, and let's be honest, he had no chance. Yes, he lost. He had no chance. Let's just be real.
But did Jordan have a chance against those Pistons teams? No.
Did LeBron have the same level of help and carry them?
Did he play against the same amount of competition in the first round? You're talking about how Jordan couldn't lead a team. Guarantee you, if he didn't play that freaking Pistons team, all-time great team. They're like a top 5 team in NBA history. Might I add. They're an amazing team. They three-peated, and when Jordan finally got players who knew how to play basketball, when he had a capable head coach who knew how to make a game plan, they swept them.
One of those years that they got swept in the first round, I believe they won 30 games and they made the playoffs somehow. That's just like a weird side note. Somehow they won 30 games and made the playoffs.
How old was Jordan?
Okay, but that's not the point. LeBron. When LeBron was young, the same.
How old?
Age.
How old?
We could Google it, but it can't be further than a few years apart. But as you do that, I'm gonna go on to the 2015 Cavs when he carried them. No Kyrie, washed K-Love, JR, Henny JR. Jeff Green, George Hill. He took that team to the finals, and obviously it did nothing. 2015,
so bad.
2015 Cavs. LeBron took them to the playoffs with injured J Love and Kyrie Irving, and lost to the Warriors. While averaging 35, 13, and 8.
I like how you never bring up the competition he faced to get to that finals.
Okay. But I don't want to miss this point. Everyone was running from the East when LeBron was in the East. We're not going to act like that's not true. We're not going to act like people weren't running from the East. And when LeBron went to the Lakers in the West, where did all the stars go?
Oh
Where did all the
my
stars go?
God.
Where did all the stars
That's such a
go?
stupid argument.
Where did the
Bro,
stars go?
Half the time they get drafted into the East. First of all, Joel Embiid drafted into the East. Half the time they get drafted into the East. Giannis drafted into the East.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is
James Harden.
Kevin Durant and James Harden, those are the two people who move team to team every freaking year.
And somehow before LeBron was in the West, I mean, there was always in the West. And when LeBron got to the West, somehow
KD got drafted into the West. First of all, played for the Thunder. Then guess where he went? To the best team because he's a snake. He went to the best team in the league because he wanted a ring. And then he saw Kyrie. He saw James Harden. They went to the Nets. He went to the Nets. I mean, that's a dumb argument.
That's not the only player I'm talking about. Many stars have
Who?
avoided KD. James Harden.
James Harden.
Yeah.
Really? He was in the West for I don't know how long and then he couldn't win there, Ryan. He couldn't win there, so he switched some up. Went to a big three, Ryan. He went to a big three with the Nets.
This has no tangible effect on the GOAT debate at all.
I know, but you're talking
this
about...
has nothing to do with it.
I know this is not the GOAT debate. I'm just saying you're saying people are running from LeBron. That's just not a good argument.
There is testimony to this. I don't have the information right now, but there are NBA stars who have testified to this fact. But moving on, 2023 Lakers, old man LeBron played through a broken foot injury that would have required surgery, by the way. Got through the first 2 rounds by carrying the team through iconic performances, both offensively and defensively.
Playing who?
He played the Nuggets that year, who went on to win. He played
the Nuggets played against the Clippers, actually, in the first round. Because they blew a 3-1 lead, the Clippers did. So.
Yeah, he played the Nuggets. I'm not talking, this is not in sequential order, but he played the Nuggets, he played the Jazz. And
the Jazz with Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, who, by the way, was putting up 50 burgers. And then when LeBron guarded him, and same with Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell, they were putting up 50-piece chicken McNuggets. And then when LeBron was guarding him, what did he do? And by the way, this is old man LeBron with a broken foot. When LeBron was guarding these young stars, and by the way, we could have D Rose this conversation. When LeBron played D Rose in the playoffs, MVP D Rose
that team was
in the playoffs. I'm talking about individually. LeBron guarding D Rose. What did he do? He was locked up. LeBron guarding Donovan Mitchell. He was locked up. LeBron guarding Jamal Murray, who both put up 50 burgers.
Jordan couldn't do that.
He was locked up.
Jordan couldn't do that.
LeBron did do that. Anyways,
so you're talking about competition right now.
I am
you're bringing
talking
up
about
the Utah Jazz with Donovan Mitchell leading their team, and I'm talking about a three-peat team.
I'm talking about the 2023 Lakers. The 2023 Lakers probably were not far off of that Jazz team. The 2023 Lakers
they were
not,
built very solid. You can't tell me they weren't.
they were guided.
AD.
They were guided by fragile Anthony Davis,
but that was
walking
AD's,
stick LeBron James.
That was AD's. They were talking about him top 3 conversations after that playoff run. AD went stupid in the first 2 rounds.
So did LeBron, offensively and defensively.
LeBron didn't really do that well. Let's go back.
LeBron didn't do well. LeBron locked up the best player for 3 consecutive series, and he was probably, 37 years old at that time?
But
37 years old, guarding these young 25-year-old studs, putting up 50 burgers.
2020, actually. It was 2020 finals, actually.
No, I'm talking about 2023 Lakers, not the finals. The team that lost to the... Yeah.
I thought you were talking about that finals run in the bubble.
No, I'm talking about 2023 Lakers, who lost the in the Western Conference Finals to the Nuggets when LeBron was guarding the best playoff performers at the time, putting up 50 burgers day in and day out.
Shoot, I had the whole wrong year. I had the bubble year. That's my bad.
Okay, you remember the year where Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell just went stupid against each other in the second round?
Yeah.
That's the year I'm talking about. And then LeBron...
I thought that was the bubble year. I thought because Donovan Mitchell, weren't they, they went to Game 7, right?
Yeah.
Was that 2023?
That was 2023.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then when LeBron guarded Jamal Murray in that Western Conference Finals, you can pick it up, but he played like hot garbage. He played like...
You're talking about 6'3" Jamal Murray versus 6'9" LeBron James.
Okay, come on now.
Specimen.
Athletic specimen. You're arguing for me again. But
Ryan, we're talking about the top 2 best players. I'm going to give him props. He was supposed to be this good coming in, Are we lying?
One of LeBron's greatest achievements is not only living up to the incredible expectations, arguably the greatest expectations ever put on a high schooler, but exceeding those. So yes, he has those expectations, but you can't say that goes against him because any type of pressure on that 18-year-old kid, on any other 18-year-old kid, they would most likely break. And LeBron became into the greatest player of all time.
Jordan wouldn't break. That's all I'm saying. Jordan wouldn't break.
Jordan never had that expectations. He played 4 years in college, and he was drafted,
No, he
6th
didn't.
overall?
He played 2 years.
No, I'm pretty sure he played 4.
I thought he played 2. But he went 3rd overall. He won Rookie
went
of the
3?
Year. Yeah, he went 3.
Okay.
He went 3. He won Rookie of the Year over Hakeem. That draft class was actually 2003 was really good too, so I can't say anything about that.
Yeah, those are neck and neck. I don't even. I wouldn't be mad at you if you said that Jordan draft class was better than LeBron. I wouldn't be mad.
I'm looking up the years in college he played.
All right, but we're gonna have to wrap it up soon, like any minute.
Yeah.
Well, just look it up real quick.
He played 3 years.
3 years in college, okay, and I know they won a natty in his last year.
That's also something you can talk about. You're talking about longevity. Jordan, he played 3 years in college. LeBron went straight from high school.
Right, and that
So
you can't hold that against LeBron because at the end of the day,
You
this
can't
is
hold it against Jordan either.
absolutely you can because this is an NBA debate. This is not a college basketball debate. So if I say LeBron is doing all this on year 21 and Jordan did this
then.
when he was on the Wizards in year 17 was on the Wizards?
Back then, you had to play in college multiple years.
Oh, and LeBron didn't, but that's why I'm saying it goes to LeBron that he accumulated all these stats as an 18-year-old kid, and then he kept it going for, was this year 21 now?
Yeah, but Jordan, you can also say, okay, LeBron has had way more years because he has had longevity. Plus, he had so much time to develop in the league. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Okay, Jordan had the same time to develop in college
And he did.
Exactly,
But they don't go to NBA stats. You can also say that. That's why LeBron's stats are so high because he has so many years.
That's another hypothetical argument that we're talking about.
No,
because
that's not.
When
That's not
absolutely it
hypothetical.
is. You would have said Jordan had all these stats if he would have been in the NBA.
I'm just saying that's why LeBron
This
has
is
so many stats.
but this is an NBA debate. If he wasn't in the NBA, you can't count it for him or against LeBron.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
All right, we'll wrap it up. Thank you. This has been an episode of the Sideline Stories. I'm Ryan Eddy.
I'm Jackson Snow.
You can catch me on Instagram at ryan.eddy12.
You can catch me on I Am Jackson Snow.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.